Welcome to LaRocque Life Podcast, where we talk about relationships, adventure, freedom, and just some all-around real and raw conversations. I'm Mike LaRocque. I got my lovely wife, Laura.
Hey guys, you should maybe we should record one day what we do to pump ourselves up for these.
Oh, we definitely need to behind the scenes. Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh,
We'll
we
do that.
might lose all credibility though.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I couldn't even not laugh in that. Okay, so welcome, thank you.
Yes.
We are super mellow tonight, and gosh, I might even yawn because I just feel like so grounded and so peaceful. And this is kind of what we want to talk about tonight. It's episode 17, and I guess really what we're going to dive into is disconnecting to reconnect and the importance of that and how to do that.
Yep.
And we'll share a little bit about our story today and our experience today, I suppose.
Yeah. Today, yes, kind of like the weekend, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we could kind of share a little bit leading up to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Especially for my side of things.
Yeah.
It's been hectic to say the least. So
Yeah.
really needed this, and today just feels great now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let's just tell you what we did. We want to make this one quick tonight because, to be honest, we want to go chill and just go to bed and just.
Well, that, and I painted myself into a corner with promising Lennox.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have a project you have to do.
Yeah, she's going to get artsy and crafty in here real quick.
Yeah, so Mike's got to get to work on that. I'm going to go have a shower and get ready to go to bed.
That's fair. That's fair. Awesome.
But, okay, so I guess really leading up to this weekend, you and I have both kind of been struggling with just handling stress, right?
I have been. I was riding such a high. Well, I've been like a wave. It's been crazy. But then for like 6 months before this move, I was in a really good place, extremely good place. And even like the 3 months before the move was like cloud nine. And then obviously stress and the move and things kind of add up and start to wear on you. But then the position I took here, this new job is well, it's not really a new job. It's with the same company and everything, but just different from what I was doing, and it got put into a whole different role again, going back into the field and feeling those stresses again. And then I was kind of not having a hard time with it. It's a different way of dealing with things, and I lost all my zen, we'll call it.
Your mojo.
Yeah, I was in such a good place, and I kind of felt like I regressed, but it's all steps, right? And at least now I caught myself fast enough, and it didn't just spiral into like the abyss and laying on the couch and doing nothing and just crushing chips all night.
Yeah.
It helps I have you too to kick me in the ass.
Well, we had a really good conversation last weekend, right?
Yeah.
And we went hiking in the mountain. I was like, we're getting outside. We're going in the mountain. I was like, we're not going down this path.
No,
we're
100%.
not doing this. So what do we got to do?
No, that's great. And then this weekend just adds to it, and I'll let you explain that a little more. But yeah, just these past couple of weeks, you've really helped out. And like I say, I've been really stressing about work, and I got to put things in perspective. And I think we did that in a lot of our conversations, and just realizing what's important. And my family's important, and my son's important, and you're important, and I'm important. And I have to make sure that I know that, and I take the right steps to keep that healthy and to keep that moving forward instead of just regressing back and putting all this stress on a job that, it's important. And people, I'm in charge of the project. There's millions of dollars and lives on the line. And lives in construction, it's a dangerous job, right? So there's lots of stress about with that, but I still have to put that in perspective of that's a job. It's not me. That's not who I am. And I used to take a lot of, my ego and a lot of pride, and I was so used to so much praise all the time because I was like this young guy that was running all these big jobs and all these things. And now I'm just like, I'm closer to 40 than anything. So now it's like, well, that's what you're supposed to fucking do, buddy. Like, what are you doing? And then just, yeah, just the praise. And then now being out in BC from Red Deer, like in Red Deer, I knew everybody and I could pull strings and guys would do things for me. And like I had so many favors on the go. And now being out in Kamloops, like no one knows me from a hole in the sand. So I'm like trying to get a concrete tester and it takes me a week.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, it'd take me like, oh yeah, don't worry, we'll have someone to you in an hour kind of stuff, right? And just all those kind of things. It's a whole new learning process for me. And I was having a really tough time these past couple of weeks. But like I say, just doing the things that you you're initiating we're going hiking, we're going to the lake, we're doing these things, um and like you said, disconnecting, shutting our phones off. It's just it's gone. Yeah, it's leaps and bounds now.
Mhm.
I do feel a lot better, and even our date night last night to disconnect, like again, not looking at our phones, not doing anything, just each other, fucking felt great.
Mhm.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of talking about all of that stuff, I think it's important to note that like we can really have these conversations now because we've gone from not being able to really communicate our feelings through kind of having ridiculous, we didn't even argue, but shutdowns. We would be the more flight people where we just like close off and go the opposite way.
100%. And I would
We
just
never
drown
were
my
fighters. Yeah.
no, and I drown myself in alcohol, right? So I
Yeah.
would just that's how I would suppress those feelings.
Yeah, so I just think it's like really important to note that like these conversations that we've been having the last couple of weeks are not I mean, I don't really recommend just having them, or I don't expect you to have them, I guess is more so what I'm trying to say. Like I don't expect everyone listening to this to be like, "Oh, well, me and my partner should just be able to figure this out like
Oh
this,"
yeah,
right?
no, it was a
Because
long process
yeah,
to
and
get
like
there.
we've worked with many coaches and it's been many years of us practicing this. So we can actually like have these conversations. And I heard this thing once and it just resonated with me so deeply that in marriage, you're going to go through seasons, and seasons are sometimes you need me, sometimes I need you.
Right.
Sometimes we're like thriving together. Sometimes we might be both suffering and asking for outside help.
Yep.
It nothing is, perfect, nothing matters. We are literally just moving through a journey. And yeah, we talk about the feminine, the masculine stuff, right? And like
Right.
you're supposed to be the provider and I'm the nurturer kind of thing. And we do talk a lot about that stuff. And
Yep.
so maybe me like taking charge of being like, we're doing this is more masculine, but that's okay because I notice in our relationship where like I do need to step up, and not to say that that doesn't make you manly. It just means that I know you're not in touch with your emotions. So I'm going to get masculine on you and I'm
No,
going
and
to say,
that's great though, because then
you
you
need to
do
be in
that, and
tune with
then
your
yeah,
emotions.
it helps, right? And then on
Like,
the backside of that, because I almost go uber like into that whole wounded thing where it's just don't talk about my feelings or try to
yeah,
say it all the time, right? Like every time we're talking before a couple weeks ago, it was just like I was so hard on myself, and I just always like, I'll fix it. I'll
yeah,
fix it. I'll fucking straighten out. I know what to do. I'll get this done. Don't worry. I'll fix it.
yeah.
And then it just spirals even fucking worse, right?
Yeah, because you're just closing off and
Yeah.
like holding it all in. But I guess I was just like, because we've been down that path before, and I was like, no, no, like, let's just stop this now. And we had the discussion about like why you need the praise. Where does that come from? We went into like your childhood stuff. And
Hmm.
I think I even said to you, like, I'm going to draw a line here right now, and I'm being Coach Laura, and we're going to talk
Yeah,
a
I
little
remember that.
bit. I mean, it's probably not awesome to coach your partner, but at the same time, I think it's amazing that we can have that support for each other, right? And we have the understanding and the respect. So like your ego doesn't get in the way now of that, right? And it's
No,
not
not at
like I
all.
just coach you all the time. Like I want you to be my man,
Yep.
right? And I don't want to be a coach in our relationship, but there's just like these small pockets where like you obviously coach me and I coach you. Like we're just like tell each other the cold hard truth that we know we need to hear, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, we were able to kind of dive into that, like what is the root issue going on here. We went into like your childhood and some stuff with your dad and like talking about different things. And it's been a week since then, and I've noticed like such a shift in you. So I don't really know exactly what was going on inside your head, but you obviously stewed with that kind of stuff, or not stewed, but like sat with it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I take my work as you're not like it's not good, but like that was a big part of my who I am, right? Like
Hmm.
everybody that I talked to, no, most people was always like, "Oh yeah, you're that guy that did
Hmm.
this or did that," and I took a lot of pride in that, and that's who I was, and that's who I identified as. And then um, I like this project. I just felt like I was spiraling out
Hmm.
of control. Like it just wasn't the way I'm used to doing things, and
Yeah.
it's just fucking hard on my system to handle that. And I'm not used to things, even hiccups in projects that things happen every day, but I'm always able to fix them, and I can make them go away in a hurry, and just
Hmm.
everything goes over. And this one I just having troubles, and there's so many people involved in it, and there's a lot more politicking and all these different things, and it's like, God damn it, I cannot, like, I just couldn't win. Then the harder I tried, I just kept falling down further and
Yeah.
further, right? So
And I think you
Yeah.
nailed it. The harder you try, right? Instead of being able to just kind of like let it go a little bit and be like, I can't control every
Mhm.
single thing that goes on here, right?
No, big time.
And then
Absolutely.
that goes back to the whole like, this is happening to us for a reason. Like, we moved here for a reason. We're experiencing struggles for a reason because, I mean, the path to like feeling more enlightened. I hate the enlightened word because I feel like it's tossed around so much, but just like the path of like revealing who you really truly are isn't roses and butterflies. If it was, like, everyone would do it. But like it's
Mhm.
the really shitty feelings or like the shitty experiences that bring things up that you get to make a choice whether you're going to lean into it and learn from them. And I think that's exactly what is happening for us here.
Absolutely, and anyone great deals with this shit. Like,
Mhm.
it's easy to be normal or
Mhm.
just stay in your comfort zone, and I've wrestled with that always. So
Mhm.
it's like, fuck, why can't I just be a normal fucking person and just go to work? I don't even have like don't be the supervisor, don't have to be the boss, don't have to be the project manager. Just fucking be a normal guy, go to work, put in your 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever it's gonna be, and then just go home and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it just fucking can't. Like no matter what. I tried that and you like do it for a week and it's like, well, this is fucking stupid. Like I would
It's
do this, this, and
boring.
this, and just start running it myself anyway,
Yeah.
right? Um, so I mean, I obviously that's something to do with my own personality or something like that. But
Well, maybe a form of control, but
absolutely.
also a form of leadership, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
there's
I really wish and I crave that so much. Remember I was trying to get a fucking job with the city. It's like
yeah.
all I want to do is be a city worker. All these things like you make a little bit of money, like you're not breaking the bank, but you're not stressing about anything.
Yeah.
That would fucking kill me. Like it would destroy me in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no
There's no
there's
challenge. There's no nothing,
yeah,
right?
there's no challenge, but also like I don't know. Yeah, I don't
And
even
not
really
like
know
when
how
I
to say
say
it.
city, I don't mean like I'm not bashing city workers at all. I'm just like I just wanted to go be like a laborer for the city,
Yeah.
not like any. I just wanted to go put in my hours and go home, and
Yeah.
yeah, that would just destroy me. And I didn't get any jobs or callbacks from that anyway.
Yeah.
So
But we were just talking about that recently too, where like you don't necessarily, or not you don't, things in your life haven't been working out in certain ways because like the universe is just being your God or like whatever we want to say is just like open your eyes. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. Like
yeah,
use your potential, do what like your heart is calling you to do. But in order to do that, you have to get still, get quiet, allow your heart to even speak to you, right?
oh totally,
Your
and
heart, your soul,
yeah,
all the things. So that totally ties into what we are talking about tonight,
yeah,
which definitely let's dive into that because, so along with Mike having those struggles, I've been going through some like deep healing stuff and just feeling like nervous system fried. Like I'm so exhausted. I'm like angry, I'm impatient. And of course, my son is 3, so he's like the best trigger for all of those
for yeah,
things.
both of us have been
Hmm.
yeah, it's
And so like I'm trying to be very like conscious and present with him, but then I'm just like, you are driving me crazy. And so it's been such an interesting couple of weeks where I was like, I've never felt this crazy in the way of like my nervous system just literally feels fried. Like any sound or anything that's going on, I'm just like cringing, right? Like I was
right,
like, oh my God, I can't even handle this.
yeah,
But we decided this weekend that yeah, we just needed to completely disconnect, right? So we did go on a date night last night. We got a babysitter and we went out for supper and went for a walk along the river and just kind of drove around, kind of sorted out our neighborhood. And that was so nice, right? Like we
oh,
didn't
it's
have phones. It was
no,
just so
it's
nice.
fucking awesome. We haven't had a date
Hmm.
night in a little while too, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it's been long, well, a long
just
time
with
for
this
us,
move
but
and
yeah,
stuff, right? So yeah, now we're kind of well, I want to say like we're in a groove. We got our house, like our condo together. We got everything we need now, I
yeah,
think, and that whole aspect of things is done. And now it's
yeah,
just hunker down and get at it, right?
yeah. And then, so I was like, we're going to go. It's so funny because I think 2 days ago, I was like, we'll go hiking, like we'll go climb a mountain or something.
Yeah,
But then the day after, so yesterday, I was like, I don't want to go hiking. I actually want to go to a lake. Like, I feel like I need to be by water. And so, super interestingly enough, we end up thinking, okay, we're going to disconnect. We're going to go to the beach. So, we go to this new beach that we've never been to before. And here we're all planning like we're going to disconnect, but there's no service there.
Yeah, you had no choice. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, this is like totally divine. Like this is where we were meant to come and meant
Which
to
is
be.
crazy in these times, right? Like to not have,
Hmm.
especially like it's not like it's far from Kamloops or anything. Like
Yeah.
it's close, and yeah, to
Yeah.
not have service
Yeah.
is
Like
just weird. It's like,
none.
yeah, it's totally weird. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So it was like totally a sign that we were on the right path.
100%. Yeah.
But then, I mean, we just had a lot of fun, right? Like we pretty much fried like lobsters. We're pretty red.
Oh yeah.
But we played in the water with Lennox. We played in the sand. One of us at a time got to like lay on the blanket and read a book and just like chill.
We got this giant
Dragon
dragon
floaty.
floaty, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
But I was floating in the water for a little bit by myself, and like I just had this. It was so cool because there was a mountain and then like the lake goes right up to the mountain. So I was like floating in there just looking at it, and I was like, wow, okay, I know this stuff, but then to actually like do it all the time. So in my business or just in life in general, I'm feeling like, oh, I need to be doing more. I need to be doing more. I'm not doing enough. And even though I know in my heart, like resting is good, being there at that lake was just like such a confirmation for me because I was looking at this mountain, which resembles like the masculine. And it's, what did I tell you? Like, so the masculine is very like sturdy, strong,
Yeah.
protector, motivated, driven, and that's like how I've been feeling like so much more in my masculine. Like I need to like do all of the things.
Right.
But then and like we look at the masculine and think that's the way we get things done by pushing and doing more. But at this, and we do, like we need to at times. But then I
Yeah.
was
Big time.
thinking about the water, and the water is the feminine. It is fluid, it flows. But you look at the water, and from the top of the water, it doesn't look powerful, right? Like it just looks calm and peaceful. But if you like go into water, like it is so powerful, right? Like
Well, it'll crush
it
you.
it'll crush you. It's like moved through mountains, right? Like broke through mountains. Like water is so powerful, but yet like we just look at it and think like, oh yeah, that's just a calm, peaceful lake. I mean, you can drown in it too, right? Like it holds so much power. And that is the feminine. And I feel like that's the way we look at resting and, taking a step back and letting go of control. So the water is also like um going with the flow in life,
Yeah.
right? So the mountain is like having a goal and like going for it, but the water is also fluid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right.
Water
And
is just like a woman. Yeah. It can
yeah.
be so calm and float, but otherwise it'll crush you, kill you,
But super powerful
but
when you
powerful.
surrender into your feminine energy, right? Like your
Absolutely.
feminine energy is your womb energy. You literally create life from there.
Yep.
And you don't create life by like going out and getting stuff done and making the baby grow. Like the sperm fertilizes the egg. All the work just happens inside and then it just like grows in you. You don't do anything.
Yeah, that's true, eh? Like it's not like when you're pregnant, you're not okay, now I
Now you
gotta
need eyes.
okay, baby, get a leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true, eh?
Yeah, that's literally like trusting everything, right? So I'm sitting on my floaty, just like looking at all this, and I'm just like getting super goosebumpy because I'm thinking about how even the day before, when I was feeling like really triggered and nervous system just like on fire, and I was messaging my coach because I was just like, dude, I'm moving through something. And the difference now is that, like, when I'm in that state, I'm like, I know that there are so many emotions coming up, like, over this period of this week or
Right.
whatever. But I know that there's something beautiful on the other side because I've done it so many times. I've never done anything this intense for a while, but I know also that's why we came here. It's time to move through this stuff. It's time to let this stuff go to create space in my body and in my life for my business and
Totally.
for our
Just
vision.
leveling up, right? We're
Yeah.
just hitting another level.
Yeah. God create more space. So these suppressed and repressed emotions need to come up.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there like watching the mountain in the water and thinking back to yesterday how I read this post about last night was the full moon in Capricorn, and I am a Capricorn, and it was talking about if you're a Capricorn, you may be feeling like extra irritated and just like frustrated and annoyed. And those were all the things I was totally feeling, but I don't follow my sign that closely. So I wasn't like, this was all pretty new to me.
Right.
And then it went into how the Capricorn is a goat on the top and a fish fin, I think the fish fin
Yeah.
on the
What you're saying.
bottom.
Yep.
And so it does represent the mountain and the water. and that you are controlling. The Capricorn can be controlling, but is like very motivated and driven, but also needs to flow with life and like surrender and
Right.
chill the fuck out, basically, right? Because and they work together. So just like the feminine and masculine energy. So I thought this is super cool because just before I read that, I was like, we need to go to water tomorrow. So I was already like listening to my intuition, right? And then as I sat there watching, like I didn't know the water we were going to would have a mountain and then
No,
the lake.
it's beautiful.
Yeah. And then to sit there and be like, so this is my Capricorn sign, a goat climbing up a mountain and then the fish in the water, right? And I was like, I literally couldn't be like more embodied than that right now.
Hmm.
So I just thought that that was kind of a cool story to tell. But again, coming into like the whole disconnecting to reconnect, like
Well, that's just it. Go sit in a floaty and just fucking
just
stare at a mountain.
contemplate life.
Absolutely. Better than laying on the couch fucking worrying about whatever, bills or money
Yeah.
or whatever you're gonna worry about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like the tangible thing is that it is so easy to get stuck in a worry loop, right? And
Well,
just
it's
like
a
play it over and over again.
yeah, it's a worry loop, and then it's like an anxiety thing, and then you're just sitting there scrolling on your phone for nothing. Like you're looking through Facebook or you're looking through Instagram or Twitter, whatever you're looking at. And yeah, you like I catch myself doing that. Like I'll look at the same shit. Like it's like walking to the fridge and just hoping something changes, but no, it's still the same shit in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how you do
And
that. And I do that to myself. And then somehow that's a like a comforting thing, but
yeah.
at the same time, you're feeding all that anxiety and all that fear and all the whatever else.
Hmm. Well, you're just stuck in that loop.
Yeah.
And then you feel guilty at the end of the day because you wasted the day and like
Right.
you weren't present with your family, or I'm not saying like you in general, just I know
Yeah.
I feel that way if I get stuck in that. But it was like, and for me, I knew what we needed to do, like for both of us, because it
Hmm.
was like we needed a reset. But I didn't know like how special today would be and how synchronistic that would be that we didn't even have service. And it's not like we weren't planning to shut our phones off anyways, but it was just like a divine sign to be like, you have no choice.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I just noticed it's such a difference in myself from this morning to tonight, like how I was so much more patient with Lennox. I just feel so calm and I like don't have all of these like I don't know, anxious kind of feelings in the pit of my stomach, which like I'm not anxious about anything. So this is how I know like this is emotion coming through me, like old emotion. So it's like I don't have anything to be anxious about or anything. So I know that that was old stuff coming up. But being on that water and just being like connecting with you and Lennox and playing in the sand and reading really helped me process a lot of that, I think, and just let it go like the water, just let it go.
Totally.
And so coming back to a tangible thing in that moment of being like, I'm just scrolling my phone or I'm just watching Netflix or I know I should get up and go do this or go do that. You have to have like 5 seconds of courage in that time to literally like get your ass off the couch and go out for a walk
Yeah.
or go to the lake, go dive into ice cold water, like pretty much what that lake was.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It's gotta be like off a glacier or something because that is fucking freezing.
go climb up a mountain, like, go for a walk in the field, wherever you're located, whatever, go see your grandbabies, go see your nephews, like
Hmm.
whoever brings you joy and just gets you out of that headspace and move into your body because the second that you're reminded that you're like a physical being and like it pulls you out of your head and into your body and activates your senses, you also then have this connection to your higher self and then you receive like messages of what you need to be doing. And I feel like for me today, like just cutting out all of that noise and that distraction actually allowed me to be like, right, I know what I need to do. And I'm going into the week so much calmer, being like, I know exactly what steps I need to take this week to like remain in this state. And I've known it all along, but I wouldn't take the action. So now I'm just like, no, I know, and this is what's happening this week.
Right.
And then I also just know that by actually doing less, I'm going to accomplish more.
Yeah. Yeah. Just chase your tail. That's exactly same place I'm in. Like at work, I feel like all I was doing is chasing my tail, but kind of got a game plan here for this week and
Mhm.
should should all go. I mean, I'm sure I'll piss off a lot of people in the process, but it is what it is, right? And
Yeah.
just
Well,
carry on.
we talk about this all the time, no matter like anything in life. You're going to piss people off, or people aren't going to like you, or people are going to misconstrue what you're trying to say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You
No.
just gotta like, obviously, you're coming from a good intention,
Mhm.
but
No, totally, 100%.
not, like, purposely wanting to hurt anyone
Nope.
or piss anyone off. Um, what was your experience today?
Kinda just like what you said, I fucking just relaxing, laying down, like, just laying in this, like, laying there, playing with Lennox, hanging out in the water. Um, I crave water all the time, and I needed that because we haven't really been to a lake. Like, we've been hiking and stuff,
Mhm,
but we haven't just been on the water or whatever, right? So, no, it felt great and getting some sun and just, yeah, just hanging out. Well, probably too much sun, but,
yeah,
um,
we always do
yeah,
this.
I'm gonna pay for that one
Yeah,
probably. But I mean, it was just, yeah, it was just special, and like I said, it just puts everything in perspective, and especially being out in the mountains, and we've done it with hiking and just laying there and looking around, and you just realize how, fuck, you're small, like,
mhm,
insignificant, your problems seem so big, but
mhm,
when you get out in nature, especially this kind of nature, it's like, fuck, you're just
mhm,
a speck
mhm,
in all this, and you might as well just, I come to it all the time. It's like, you might as well just fucking enjoy it here, because life goes on. Every day moves on, no matter if you're fucking laying on the couch eating chips or playing with your kid, having fun, or hulking up a fishing rod like I'm gonna do tonight. Like, I mean, and just like, to see Lennox's face tomorrow when he sees that is gonna be so special.
mhm,
Instead of just me being whatever, laying on the couch, and then waking up in the morning being all groggy and grumpy
and anxious about your
and
day.
anxious about the day, which doesn't do anything. And you still got to go through that day regardless, whether you're happy or sad or whatever.
Mhm,
It's still gonna happen.
mhm,
So yeah, I had that real big realization just laying there and watching, especially when you get to sit back as a father. I guess as a mother, you probably see that too, but just to watch your partner and your kids play together, interact, and just watching Lennox laugh and watching you laugh, and just like, fuck, and just realize how special life is,
mhm,
and that me being anxious or down is not helping anything.
mhm.
So yeah, that's what I felt today, big time.
Yeah, and it's funny, not funny you say that, but, like, was that yesterday? Or was it the day before that I got it was the day before, it was Friday that I found out that my uncle had passed away,
Right? Yeah.
and I haven't even really been very close with him the last few years, but, like, he was a big part of my childhood and, like, obviously holds a special place
He's
in
a
my
fucking
heart.
great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and every time I do see him, like, you get to have that big hug, and, like, we've watched him suffer through cancer for the last 3 years, and I just, like, bawled my face off on Friday for a while because it's,
Totally
like,
fair.
all
Yeah.
the emotions came out, and I was like, "I'm just gonna feel the feels and feel the emotions and let them go," and then, like, send him, like, love, right?
Yeah.
But you, like, in those moments as well, like, I think it happens every time you lose someone close to you or someone you love, you're just always reminded that life, like, it could end anytime. Like,
No,
you
you're
don't
just
think
you're
you're gonna die at
no.
a certain age, or you just never know, right? And here we are all caught up in the drama and the stress and gosh, I don't even know, like,
It's all
just
things that don't matter, right? Or
mhm.
like, I mean, they matter in your head, but they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, like, not at
Fucking
the end of the day,
no,
right?
life goes on no
Mhm.
matter what.
Yeah. I don't know remember the name of it, but one of my very first coaches talked a lot about this book where, like, they actually interviewed people on their deathbed and asked them, like, what was their biggest regret, and
Hmm.
it was, like, I can't like, the wording of it, I don't know, will be perfect, but basically it was that, like, they didn't do what they loved doing enough of what they loved doing with the people that they loved.
Right. I mean, I regret a lot of that even myself, right?
Mhm.
Like, just you're working or you're thinking you're doing this for your family, like making money or whatever you got to do, and it just, when you look back on it, you're like, fuck, what a waste,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Especially looking at Lennox now, like he's 3.5, and it's just like, yeah, you just want to spend all this time with him and be present with him and not be anxious and worried about and stressing about work or stressing about whatever, not just work, just stressing about life and taking out on him, like snapping or whatever. And it's not his fault. He's just a fucking little dude just
Mhm.
trying to figure stuff out, right? So, um, yeah, absolutely. Life is just way too short and way too precious to dick around
Mhm. Yeah,
or to dick
exactly.
around to be worried about things, right?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
are you happy to kinda wrap this up
No,
tonight?
100%. Yeah. It's, yeah. With, like I say, yeah, just wrap it up with that. Just like, fucking live your life, man. Don't be worried about shit, anxious about stuff. Easy to say, and I'm sure I'll have anxious feelings tomorrow and the next day, but just got to catch them
Yeah.
and get rid of them.
And then you know what to do, right?
Yeah.
And I think like the message we really want to portray in this podcast, this episode is give yourself like schedule it in, plan it in advance, like an opportunity to disconnect from the world. Like
Hmm.
all of the chaos and the noise that's going on in the world. I mean,
Especially in the
now is
media.
even more intense, but it's always happening.
There's always something, yeah,
Yeah.
and like yeah, that's I just we always seem like we're so special and like, oh, this is so hard on us, but like, fuck, man, there was a depression, there's world wars, there's plagues, there's all kinds of stuff, right? So
Yeah.
this is just this is our crux that we have to go through. So
Yeah.
every generation's had stuff.
Yeah. I mean, some people might argue that this is literally the end of times.
Wow. Yeah.
But
So was whatever 2000 and 2012 and whatever else, right? So
yeah, and that's the thing. We could sit here and worry about all the things and we'll never know. I mean, we could all just die tomorrow. Like the world could, who knows what could happen to the world,
God,
right?
who
But
knows?
I mean, I always say this to my mom, and I should probably stop saying this so it doesn't actually happen. But when like we're talking about making the right choices, or like maybe sometimes she's trying, like she worries a lot, I'll just be like, Mom, I could literally step on the street tomorrow and get hit by a bus. So like I'm not going to stress too much about too far into my future because like I don't know how long I have, right? I'm just going
Right.
to enjoy this time. But yeah, like kind of just tangible things is like actually plan ahead to block off some time, even if it's daily, like a couple hours in the evening where you're just gonna like put your phone on airplane mode before you go to bed and like be with your family or read a book or go move your body, go for a
Hmm.
walk, whatever that looks like for you, or maybe it is like a whole day or a whole weekend, but it seems counterproductive and almost counterintuitive when you're like, but I have too much to do.
Right.
But trust me, trust us, right? Like, do it and you will feel so like fueled, so filled up, right? Like, you're actually
Absolutely.
nourishing your soul and that feminine aspect of yourself because men have a feminine aspect as well. So you actually get to like just be in your body, be present, be with your emotions to feel them and let them move through you. And then you just create so much space to now go out into your week, right? With a bunch of masculine men and be in your masculine and be like, let's get shit done,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. No, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm good. You're good.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Right on. How can people find you?
Follow us on LaRocque Life, Instagram, Facebook, or you can follow me, Laura LaRocque, on Instagram, Facebook, or my website is lauralarocque.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is good. Thanks for listening. I love you guys and I
Yeah.
love you.
I love you too. And love you guys. Thanks for watching and
Thanks.
listening.